Hello, everyone, and welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphreys, joined by my co-host Gage Bertovich. Gage, it's been a while. How you doing, man?
It definitely has been a while, but I'm doing good. It's been a long couple weeks since the end of the football season, and we got spring training, we got March Madness, but nothing compares to the NFL season. But how are you doing?
Oh well, I miss football. Ready to watch a little baseball next week, but football is still, the one that I miss the most. And man, just we don't have to talk about March Madness. We're here to talk NFL free agency, so let's get right into it. What do you say?
You know what? Sounds like a good idea to me.
We'll start out in our home division, the AFC North. You know, my Cincinnati Bengals, your Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll just start with that division, and we'll just hit them all up. What do you say?
It sounds like a plan to me.
All right. So the Baltimore Ravens, uh, Josh Johnson, they signed them to a 1 year deal. All right. That's whatever. Uh, the big, the big The big acquisition that the Baltimore Ravens had, running back Derrick Henry signed a 2 year, $16 million contract. Pretty big free agency signing there for Baltimore. Do you think he's got anything left to give?
Uh, Absolutely. I mean, a 2 year, $16 million contract. The guy whose nickname is King Henry, you're only paying him $8 million a year average value. That's an incredible signing for them to have him and Lamar Jackson in the backfield, two very good running backs. You never know how their running game's gonna be, um, and it sucks that for us, your Bengals, my Steelers, we have to play them twice a year. Steelers, every time Derrick Henry has been against them, he's never had more than 75 yards rushing, but I would not be surprised if that changes a little bit in the next year or two. But I guess you just have to see. But overall, very good signing for this team.
Yeah, unfortunately, we saw him like once every 2 years before, and now it's going to be twice a year for the most part. Him complimenting Lamar Jackson back there, just giving them a more stable running game than what they've had. And I think that he's going to fit in pretty good with that team, unfortunately. And I think he's got a little bit left in that tank there. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, twice a year we got to see him now. But Lamar still chokes. Well, in the playoffs when it matters most, he still chokes. So that's what I'm going with.
If defenses are able to stop him, force him to throw, that's going to be how other teams win.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they use him. But hopefully it's not that hopefully it's not that big piece that's going to push them over the top to a Super Bowl like they hope.
Which I doubt it.
They signed Nelson Aguilar to a 1 year extension. Josh Jones, offensive tackle, they signed him to a free agent deal. Justin Matabuke re-signed on a 4 year, $98 million contract. Brent Urban, 1 year deal. Chris Board, free agents. Malik Harrison and Arthur Mallett signed on a
Mullet,
2 year
yep.
deal. That is
uh,
Baltimore's free agency so far. What do you think about it?
yeah, I mean, overall, I don't know what their cap space was looking like. Seemed pretty solid. Your biggest two signings, Derrick Henry and Justin Madubuike. I could not believe his contract when I saw it. 75.5 million guaranteed is crazy to me. Um, I didn't think Madubuike was that good in the past, and then I looked at some of his stats, and I'm like, okay, you know what? The guy's a little bit of a baller. He can produce. And then the rest of the guys, just your normal stuff. The only other name that I recognize, Arthur Mollett, former Steeler, sucked with Pittsburgh. Maybe he'll have better luck with Baltimore.
Yeah, there was only really two key signings that Baltimore had there, pretty much, and one was on the offensive side, one was on the defensive side. So Big name Derrick Henry. He's obviously the jewel of this signing period for Baltimore, but not really a whole lot else going on for Baltimore as far as free agents.
Yeah.
So we're going alphabetical order here, and we go to the Cincinnati Bengals next. They signed running back Zach Moss to a 2-year, $8 million contract. They got T. Higgins, franchise tagged him. Trenton Irwin re-signed with the Bengals on a 1-year, $2 million deal. Mike Gesicki signs a 1-year deal. Tanner Hudson's back on a 1-year deal. Drew Sample, 3-year, $10.5 million. Trent Brown gets a 1-year deal. Cody Ford, for some reason, is back on a 1-year deal. Sheldon Rankins gets a 2-year, $26 million deal. Akeem Davis Gaither, a 1-year deal. Von Bell is back in Cincinnati on a 1-year deal. And the one that I think is the key for the Bengals signing this season, this offseason, safety Geno Stone, 2-year, $15 million deal, $6 million signing bonus. Gage, what do you think about the Bengals free agency class?
I mean, overall, it's a lot of names, but it's a lot of people that, unless you're a Bengals fan, you're probably like, who? And in a couple cases, like the linebacker, Akeem Davis Gaither. I've heard the name, don't know much about him. Von Bell, I was surprised that they brought back, but I think that's a very good addition for them, especially in a secondary that was pretty weak last year. And then same thing on the other side with Geno Stone. Him coming over from the rival Baltimore makes good sense for the Bengals to sign him, take away a piece from Baltimore, make a really good addition to your secondary. And then the thing that I find funny is Gesicki, Hudson, and Sample all being signed or re-signed. They're going all out on the tight ends this year, apparently. I don't know what that's about. And then your running backs, you got rid of Joe Mixon, so bring in Zach Moss. That I know, it's only a 2-year, $8 million contract, but Moss can actually be pretty good. He's had a couple good, I don't want to call it stints, but short periods of time where he was actually very good in like Indianapolis. T. Higgins getting franchise tagged. I don't think he was very happy about it. There are rumors about him coming to Pittsburgh. I actually don't want that to happen. We have a very good knack for just drafting wide receivers, so you can keep him for 28 or 21.8 million. And then Trent Irwin, very solid, like number 3 receiver, maybe a number 4. Makes sense for Bengals to bring him back. Overall, I like it. Probably give it like a B plus, maybe a B minus.
Yeah, I like a B minus there. Like you said, a lot of tight ends, which kind of signals that they're not going after Brock Bowers in the draft, which I was kind of hoping for. Kind of, a little bit. Hey, if he's there, let's take him. But no, it's not happening. Trent Brown, I think, was a good right tackle signing for the Bengals on the offensive line out there with Jonah Williams going off to Arizona. Zach Moss, he's going to split time with Chase Brown at running back. Chase Brown, it'll be his second year, so they're kind of, getting him into, being a running back 1. T. Higgins, definitely not happy that he was back with the Bengals. There was a juicy trade rumor that the Bengals offered T. Higgins and 2 first-rounders to Minnesota for Justin Jefferson, and the Vikings denied that. So I don't know if that would have, I don't know. T. Higgins, Justin Jefferson, I don't know, 2 first-rounders, that's a lot to give up for him. I really like the Geno Stone signing. Seems like every game last year I watched, Geno Stone was getting a pick. Of course, he didn't in every game, but Sheldon Rankins, I don't know if he's got a lot left in that tank or not, but, we'll see. With them letting DJ Reader go, that's kind of his replacement there. So overall, I like the B minus for the Bengals here. Not a bad, but not a big splash either.
Yeah.
But it's decent. So I'll take it. And now we head up north in Ohio to Cleveland and the Cleveland Browns and their free agency. So here we go. Tyler Huntley. Snoop signs a free agent deal. Jameis Winston, 1-year deal. Deontay Foreman, he signs a deal. Naheem Hines signs a deal. Jerry Jeudy is acquired in a trade with the Broncos. James Prochet re-signs with the Browns. Michael Dunn re-signed. Zadarius Smith re-signed a 2-year deal. Shelby Harris, Maurice Hurst, Quentin Jefferson, Devin Bush signs a free agent deal. Jordan Hicks, Tony Brown, and punter Corey, I'm not even going to say that name, re-signed free agent deal. What do you think about the Browns offseason acquisitions here, Gage? I know they're pretty excited about the Jerry Jeudy deal, but yeah, whatever.
I think they signed a lot of people. Now, when you look at someone like Tyler Huntley, Burrow has barely played in his career. I mean, with the addition of Jameis Winston, they're going to have like 4 quarterbacks on their roster if you count these two and then Deshaun and then Dorian Thompson-Robinson from last year. So it's going to be very interesting to see. If anything, I don't see Tyler Huntley making the roster. I think Jameis will be the backup to Deshaun, and then Thompson Robinson will be probably like on the practice squad or something like that. Running back wise, it was very interesting to me to see that they went out and signed 2 of them between Foreman and Hines to give that complimentary to Chubb, and I believe Jerome Ford's still on the team. So that was kind of odd to me. I like both of those signings. Foreman did good last year, especially in his first game with Chicago. Nyheim Hines has always been solid. I don't know, really, you're not going to get like an outstanding performance out of him, but you're not going to get a 4 carries for -7-yard stat line out of him. Jerry Jeudy, when this trade came through from Bleacher Report, I was like, wow, okay, they got a very good weapon. Then I saw what all they gave up with a 5th and a 6th-round pick. I'm like, seriously? Like, Denver's just emptying the tank now. And then they go and sign him to the 3-year contract extension up to $58 million, with 41 of that guaranteed. When it comes to overpaying, I know some teams may talk about Calvin Ridley getting overpaid. This is an overpayment. But I guess sometimes you have to overpay the mediocre players to try and attract more, maybe like fans, or just to get that player to actually join your team. Understandable. James Prochet, whatever. Michael Dunn, okay. Zadarius Smith re-signing. Smith has been good all of his career. I think this is a very good signing. And then the rest of the people, Hurst, Jefferson, pretty decent for them. Devin Bush, 2nd in Pittsburgh, 2nd in Seattle. Hopefully he sticks here. Jordan Hicks and Tony Brown, okay, cool. And Hunter, Corey, whatever.
Yeah, I see. Sounds about right for them. Like not a whole lot of impact players that were signed there. I don't think. Jerry Jeudy, he's not going to be a number 1 for him. I don't think with Amari Cooper there, and but it's Cleveland. So Zadarius Smith, I think that's a good re-sign for him. But yeah. So now we head to the last team, but not least, in the AFC North, and that is your Pittsburgh Steelers. And we'll just start at the top here. What it says: Russell Wilson signed a 1-year deal with the team. Quarterback Justin Fields acquired in a trade with the Bears in exchange for a 2025 conditional day 3 pick. Wide receiver Van Jefferson signs with the team. Montravius Adams, 2-year deal. Patrick Queen, 3-year, $41 million deal. Dante Jackson acquired in a trade with the Carolina Panthers in exchange for Deontay Johnson. and a 7th-round pick. They also get a 6th-round pick. Um, Safety Deshaun Elliott, safety Miles Killebrew, Cameron Johnston, and Christian Kuntz resign on a 3-year deal. Gage, what do you think about your Pittsburgh Steelers and their free agency?
Hopefully, receive.
Yeah, I would say I would probably give them about an A minus. I mean, they got Van Jefferson to kind of replace Deontay Johnson, but like you said, he only had really one good season with him. Russell Wilson coming over. What does he have left? Don't know. Justin Fields. There was potential there with Fields. He had a decent season last year. They just are, ready to get Caleb Williams in there with that number 1 pick. Patrick Queen, a really good signing for him. Uh, Dante Jackson, uh, coming over from Carolina in that cornerback role there. So yeah, I would say it's pretty good signing, pretty good free agency period for your Pittsburgh Steelers there.
Justin Fields, I believe, is
Yeah, we'll see how it goes with them, but I guess it all depends on. I mean, if it's a contract year for Fields, that could be a good thing for your team this year. Comes out balls out. But I don't know. We'll see. But I like the free agency signings for Pittsburgh. I think that they had some really good ones there. So yeah, let's Let's go to the AFC East now, and former Pittsburgh Steeler Mitchell Trubisky signs with the Buffalo Bills on a 2-year deal. Mike Collins signs a free agent deal with him. Curtis Samuel, Deion Dawkins, David Edwards, Will Clapp, AJ Epinzia, Casey Toohill, Daquan Jones, Nicholas Morrow, Teron Johnson, Cam Lewis, Mike Edwards, and Taylor Rapp all signing with Buffalo. What do you think about Buffalo's free agency signings there, Gage?
Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? Fair play, Buffalo. Fair play. And get Matt Collins pretty soon. Both solid receivers. Lost Gabe Davis. Those two will be able to count. I think they're going to have a better receiving than what they've had. And then Deion Dawkins, 3 years, $60 million extension. I could not believe their surprise. 60.5 is a lot. I thought if they were going to extend, they might get an extension. Pretty solid. 2 year, $20 million. It's bigger than the Derrick Henry contract, so there we go. Nicholas Morrow, very solid off the ball line. Taylor Rapp, who I think is really good. They lost a lot of key pieces, whether it was to injury, just to free agency in the past few months, or even the season. I think Taylor Rapp helped solidify it. Same thing with Mike Edwards. You're going to be able to rotate him. You have a lot of corners on your team. Safety defense. I think solid, not good, but solid. Kind of like a B minus, I think, for their free agency.
Yeah, I was probably going to go with about a C plus for him. When you're hyping up Mitchell Trubisky as one of your key pieces for your free agent class, welcome back to Buffalo. Yeah, there's what I don't blame the fans there. Deion Dawkins getting an extension coming back. That's good for Josh Allen and them. Mike Edwards, the Badger. He's not the Honey Badger, but they call him the Badger. Anyways, he has won 2 Super Bowls with Tampa Bay and then one with Kansas City this past season. So I think that maybe they're hoping for him to get a third one with a third different team. I don't know, but solid in the secondary for them. So I'd say about a C plus on that class right there. And now we head to Miami and the Miami Dolphins. Salvin Ahmed, running back, free agent deal, re-signed. Braxton Berrios re-signs. River Craycraft re-signs. Jody Forston, signed free agent. Jonnu Smith, tight end, signed 2-year, $10 million deal. Robert Jones, Isaiah Wynn, Jack Driscoll. Aaron Brewer signed a 3-year, $21 million deal. Shaq Barrett, 1-year, $9 million deal. Neville Gallimore, Jonathan Harris, Benito Jones, Deshaun Hand, Jordan Brooks, 3-year, $30 million. Anthony Walker, Kendall Fuller, Nick Needham, Jordan Poyer, signed a 1-year deal. Siran Neal, and Jake Bailey, punter, signed with the Dolphins. Jake, what do you think about this class? There's a lot of names there.
I think it's
No.
last year, probably, Driscoll. I wonder if he's related to Jeff
Hmm.
Driscoll. Shaq.
Yeah, I'm going to give him like a B minus only because offensively, like you said, there's nothing there, nothing impressive at all. But defensively, I like what they did on the defense. They signed some names here, Shaq Barrett, Kendall Fuller, Jordan Poyer, Jordan Brooks. I mean, they signed some key pieces to help that defense because they really didn't need a whole lot of help offensively. They've got the weapons on the offensive side, so not real need on the offensive side there, but defense is where they needed some help at. They signed some people there. I like it. I'll give them a B minus. Like you said, there's a lot of quantity, but will it add up to the quality? We'll see. But there's a lot of names there. I think they signed like a whole nother roster right here. It sounded like when I was naming off some names there. But we'll see how it goes. But I like what they did on the defensive side on their signings. And now we go to New England Patriots. The Bill Belichickless New England Patriots. Let's see what they did in free agency, shall we? They signed Jacoby Brissett to a 1-year, $8 million deal. Let's bring him back, right? Nathan Rourke re-signs with the team. Running back Antonio Gibson, 3-year, $11.25 million deal. Kendrick Bourne re-signed a 3-year, $19.5 million deal. KJ Osborne signed with the Patriots. Jalen Rager, he was picked before. Was he picked before? Who was he picked before in the draft? Was it Justin Jefferson? I can't remember.
Trying to look it up quick.
He signed a 1-year, $1.3 million deal. I believe it was Justin Jefferson, maybe, that he was picked like one pick ahead of. I may be wrong, but Hunter Henry re-signed a 3-year, $27 million deal. Austin Hooper, 1-year deal. Mike Onwenu, offensive lineman, 3-year, $57 million deal. Tyrone Wheatley re-signs. Anthony Jennings signs a 3-year, $12 million deal. Josh Uche. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Armand Watts signed with the team. Christian Ellis with 2 S's re-signed with the team. There's a linebacker, Sion Taki, signed a 2-year, $6.5 million deal. And Kyle Duggar received the transition tag, which will pay him $13.8 million for the year. And Jalen Hawkins signed a 1-year deal. Boy, Gage, how impressed are you with New England's free agency signings right here? I thought that's what it was.
Queen.
Ooh.
This guy should be a stud.
Ooh. Oh man. Well, he got the bag this year. 1 year, $1.3 million.
Yeah, but you know what? I can't say like I wouldn't be happy, but still, worth that first round pick. Point you're barely at D3.
Right.
Quarterback wise, Jacoby Brissett. I guess he knows the system. He knows about every team system by now. Losing work and Antonio Gibson, Kendrick Bourne, and KJ Osborne, Jalen Rager, bringing these three pieces for the offense, whether it be man or green. It's a lot of average names, but at least it's names that you recognize. It's names that you know. They would be pretty solid. They may produce an okay amount. I like reading Kendrick Bourne's contract here because he has a lot of reward base, a lot of his incentives, a lot of bonuses. He's able to earn $850,000 in roster bonus each year. So if he stays healthy, plays all 17 games, he can make a lot of money just by sitting up. Wise, Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, very good for them. Hunter Henry, he gives me nightmares every time I think about it. Last year, when he had 2 touchdowns against Pittsburgh. Austin Hooper, very solid all of his career. Not great, not bad, right in the middle. Offensive line wise, the only name I recognize is Okorafor because Steelers released him. So huge period started. Otherwise, I don't really know the people. On Wenu, I would not see a 3 or $57 million deal. He must be pretty decent at that point. Just defensive side of the ball, Jennings, Josh, don't get much. It seems like team-friendly deals. Jennings' contract can get to a max value of $24 million in 3 years, so he must be decent. Defensive lineman Armin Watts, another former Steeler, Patriots brought in. It was actually, I thought, very good. As we go to so I think he got himself a good deal. Christian Ellis and Taki. I think Taki is a former. I think that's where he was.
Yes.
So taking him out of the division, I'm okay with. Kyle Duggar with a transition tag, so $13.8 million for the season. I think he almost had to, if he didn't want to bring some big contract to stay with the team for a long term. I think this was a great move. Signing him, signing Jalen Hawkins, really hope another secondary. But once again, it comes into that, like, worth the quality, worth the quantity. I just don't see it. This is the graded so far. I have to give him like
I was going C- on this one too when I was looking down through here, and like nobody really sticks out like they're going to be a game changer for this team. And New England just, I don't know what they're doing anymore. Since Brady's left, I mean, the roster, you just look at it and it's like, well, hey, Antonio Gibson, decent running back. Is he, going to, win the MVP next year or come anywhere close? No. Offensive, player of the year? No. Hunter Henry, a good tight end, really good tight end. But I mean, is he a game changer? No, not really. But I'm gonna go C-. I'll give it a C- there because, like I said, nothing really pops out from New England. And like I said, I really don't know what they're doing anymore. It definitely rebuilding for I don't know how long, but definitely not the Patriots of the past for sure. And then we head to the last team in the division, the New York Jets. Quarterback Tyrod Taylor signed a 2-year deal worth up to $18 million. Mike Williams signed a 1-year, $15 million deal. John Simpson, 2-year deal worth up to $18 million. Morgan Moses was acquired in a trade with Baltimore along with a 2024 fourth-round pick in exchange for 2024 fourth and sixth-round picks. Tyron Smith signed a 1-year deal up to $20 million. Leaky Fotu signed a free agent contract. Javon Kinlaw, defensive line, signed a free agent deal. Solomon Thomas re-signed with the Jets. Isaiah Oliver signed a 1-year deal. Legatron, Greg Zuerlein, re-signed on a 2-year $8.4 million deal, and Thomas Morstead resigned on a 2-year deal. Not a whole lot of acquisition signings for New York there, but what they did sign, kind of like a little bit there. Gage, what about you? Mm. Yep. Yes.
But it also helps this team. I couldn't believe it. I was wowed at this trade. Knowing what the trade was, like just for a fourth and sixth round pick, who can go wrong with that? And Tyron Smith coming over from Dallas on a 1 year, $20 million deal. They put a lot of money into building up this offensive line. I guess that's where the quarterback is reason this season. Defensive wise, vote two. I don't know. Javon Kinlaw, very good. Actually, very happy with the signings. Solomon Thomas is all of them. I think average players, not too much production you're going to get out of them, but they're going to be rates probably in the top 50%. Bringing back Zero, bringing back Morstead. You can't go wrong with either of those moves. Not a lot, but very solid, especially with their focusing on their offensive line.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably about a B plus. They got a good solid backup for Rodgers. They got him a weapon in Mike Williams. Another solid number 2 receiver. Offensive line, they really boosted up that offensive line with the signings they've got there. I like the Javon Kinlaw signing too, coming over from San Francisco. So I just like, not a lot of quantity, but I'm pretty sure there's some good quality here. I like what they've done there in New York for the Jets to, try to help A-Rod out a little bit this season. So that is the AFC East, and we're going to go down south now to the AFC South. And we start out with the AFC South champs, the Houston Texans. And they get running back Joe Mixon, acquired in a trade with the Cincinnati Bengals in exchange for a 7th round pick. Noah Brown re-signed with the team. Dalton Schultz re-signed for a 3-year, $36 million deal. Charlie Heck gets a 1-year deal. Denico Autry, 2-year, $20 million deal. Mario Edwards, 1-year deal. Tim Settle, 2-year contract. Foley Fatuskowski signed with them. Daniil Hunter signed a 2-year, $49 million deal. Al Shazier signed a 3-year, $34 million deal. Delshon Phillips signed with the Texans. Mike Ford signed a 2-year deal. C.J. Henderson signs a 1-year deal. Lonnie Johnson signed a 1-year contract. Desmond King II re-signed with the team. Jeff Okuda signed a 1-year, $4.25 million deal. Eric Murray re-signed with the team. Kai Fairbairn signed a 3-year, $15.9 million extension. And Tommy Townsend signed with the Texans. Got a lot going on here in Houston. Gage, what do you think about their offseason so far? Criminal.
Schultz, 3-year, $36 million. Very good tight end last year. He was very good with his balls. Can't go wrong with that. And then you're adding Charlie Hexter offensive line. 3.2 million. Paying him to be a starter. Defensive wise, I think is where they really focused a lot of their time and a lot of their money this year. And that can be said with like Daniel Hunter. 2-year, $49 million deal, but 48 of that is guaranteed, which I think is hilarious. Al Shahir, a 3-year, contract. All the rest of the guys to just basically be this. Not in it's a first round bust.
Mm-hmm.
About a trade. But besides that, very good. They brought up their defense a lot. Brought in one piece to their offense that makes it so much better than it was last year. Devin Singletary did good. I think Joe Mixon's going to elevate that offense. They even beat Flush. I think they did very good.
I'm right there with you again, man. I've got a B plus for this one too. Joe Mixon, I think, is a big upgrade from Singletary. Like you said, Singletary had a good season last season, but Joe Mixon, I think, is going to add something a little bit more for that offense. And Noah Brown seems to always kill the Bengals every time he plays them. So I don't know if he plays good against anybody else, but he's back with him. Dalton Schultz, pretty good tight end. Defensive wise, Danielle Hunter, I mean, we'll give you that $48 million guaranteed. That other $1 million, it's not guaranteed. So you might not get that $1 million extra. So you just hold off on that. But yeah, I like what they've done there. Like you said, Jeff Okuda bust was it the number 4 pick a couple years ago, and yeah, that's what else can you say about him? But overall, I think they've done a lot there to kind of help C.J. Stroud out on the offensive end, and also they boosted up their defense a little bit, which was a very underrated defense last year. So I like it. I like the B plus for the Houston Texans. Now we go to Indianapolis and the Indianapolis Colts. Quarterback Joe Flacco signs a 1-year deal up to $8.7 million. Running back Trey Sermon. Michael Pittman gets a 3-year, $70 million deal. Danny Pinter, offensive lineman. Tyquan Lewis. Gennard Avery signs a deal. Raekwon Davis. Grover Street, Zaire Franklin. Kenny Moore II re-signs on a 3-year, $30 million deal. Ronnie Harrison signed to a deal, and Sanchez, the punter, re-signs with the Colts. Not a lot going on in Indianapolis, but they did make some pretty big deals here. Gage, what do you think about Joe Flacco starting for Indianapolis this year when Anthony Richardson goes down? Yes.
One-year contracts. You have Robert Stewart on a 3-year deal. Zaire Franklin on a 3-year, $2.6 million extension. And Kenny Moore on a 3-year, $30 million deal. You're putting a lot of your time and a lot of your resources into the defense, just like Houston did. And I don't mind it. I think they did very well. Not as well as Houston, but I think still good overall. I'll give it a B.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a B minus on this one. Like you said, Joe Flacco brought in, had a great season last year. He's going to be there to mentor Anthony Richardson. Like you said, he's not going to learn how to run off of Joe Flacco because Joe Flacco, does he even run? No. Uh, uh, Trey Sermon, like you said, he was a bust coming out, or he's a bust. Thought he was going to be something coming out. Michael Pittman, a very underrated wide receiver. You can guarantee just about every game he's getting like at least 7 catches, no matter who's the quarterback, because they just rely on him and he's reliable. They beefed up that defense a little bit there with Franklin and Moore. Uh, I like what they did there. I'll go B minus though, not a whole lot. Uh, Offensively, they're just bringing back some players. But yeah, they did pretty decent on the defensive end there. I'll give them a B minus for Indianapolis. Now we head to Jacksonville. Jacksonville Jaguars may have made the deal of the offseason right here when I get started on this one with quarterback Mac Jones acquired in a trade with the Patriots in exchange for a 2024 6th-round pick. Oh, man. Shoo. Running back Dearness Johnson re-signed on a free agent deal. Gabe Davis signed a 3-year, $39 million deal. Devin Duvernay signed a free agent deal. Blake Hance signed an extension. Ezra Cleveland signed a 3-year deal worth up to $28.5 million. Mitch Morse signed a 2-year, $10.5 million deal. Josh Allen received the non-exclusive franchise tag, which will pay him $24 million for 2024. Trevis Gibson signed a free agent deal. Eric Armstead signed a 3-year, $51 million deal. Ronald Darby signed a deal. Darnell Macho Man Randy Savage signed a 3-year deal. And kicker Joey Sly signed a 1-year deal. Gage, what do you think about Jacksonville's free agents signings here with the key piece being Mac Jones?
I know we joke about it and whatnot, but the videos that Mac Jones has done, like press conferences and stuff, since coming over to Jacksonville, he looks so happy. I don't think I've ever seen that guy smile until now. You can tell he's happy to get out of me. He's happy to be in this system. He's backing up a decent quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. All it took was a 6th-round pick with Sloan being adjusted. It's worth it. Running back Dearness Johnson, not much to say about him. Gabe Davis, 3-year, $39 million deal. So a guy that shows up for like 6 games out of the season and it feels like he disappears for the rest of the time. I feel like they never fall for him. Especially since he can get to a max of $50 million. Devin Duvernay, big time out of Baltimore offense. Go away, go somewhere else. Okay with that. Ezra Cleveland helping on offensive line, 3-year, $28.5 million. Why not? Very good signing for them. Former Bill Mitch Morris. I was really hoping the Steelers would pick him up. And the fact that he only signed for $10.5 million on a 2-year contract, he's got sympathy. That's a major sign. Josh Allen, the defensive player, getting $24 million. I think it's a lot for him. I think he's coming off his best season, but I don't know for one season for him. Seems like a little bit of a reach, but he's also one of the cornerstone pieces for that defense as well. Instead, 3-year, $51 million. I love that. Off of San Francisco, Middleman and Jacksonville. Booster up that defensive line. Brent, Macho Man, Savage, Joey Sly, all pretty solid in the back half there. Not a lot going on, but a lot of good things. Give him a B minus on this one.
Yeah, I got a C plus on him here. Mac Jones, he's from Florida, so he's probably a lot happier being back down in Florida. It's not as cold down there. He's not under Belichick anymore. Fresh start for him. Something about that draft class there. Justin Fields was the 11th pick, Mac Jones the 15th pick, and both of them's on their second teams. Their original teams just kind of give up on them. Dearness Johnson, yeah. Gabe Davis, like you said, kind of disappears for a lot of games, especially big games. So for him to be coming in to kind of replace Calvin Ridley, kind of a downgrade there for him. Offensive line wise, they brought in a couple of guys there that boost that up a little bit. Josh Allen, the better of the Josh Allens, if you ask me, at least last year. Got the franchise tag there. He probably wasn't happy about that, but the pay's pretty good for that though. And then bringing in Armstead over from San Francisco, pretty good deal for him there. I'll give him a C plus there. And then we go to Tennessee, the Tennessee Titans. They signed Mason Rudolph to a 1-year deal. They signed Tony Pollard to a 3-year deal. Calvin Ridley to a 4-year, $92 million contract. Westbrook Ikine re-signed on a 1-year deal. Sadiq Charles agreed to terms on a free agent deal. Lloyd Cushenberry signed on a 4-year, $50 million deal. Sebastian Joseph, 1-year deal. Kenneth Murray, 2-year, $15.5 million contract. Chidobe Awuzie signed on a 3-year, $36 million deal. L'Jarius Sneed acquired from the Chiefs in exchange for a 2025 third-round pick and a swap of 2024 seventh-round picks. Kicker Nick Folk signed on a 1-year, $3.755 million deal, and Morgan Cox, long snapper, agreed on terms. Gage, a lot going on there in Tennessee. What do you think about it?
A lot going on. Big contracts. We start off, giant contracts. Mason Rudolph, 2.87 million. I was sad to see Mason. I really I thought he should give a chance in Pittsburgh. We saw those couple games last year that he played. He really well at the end of the season. I feel like Pittsburgh got screwed in the Buffalo game, but it's also like biased. So I think they're going to be very happy to have him. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mason starting halfway through the season, or even if he beats out Will Levis and Dreams. Now, your actual big signings, Tony Pollard, Calvin Ridley, 3-year, $24 million, 4-year, $92 million, respectively. Well overpaid. Well, I think it's plain and simple. You get overpaid for both of them. $8 million average annual value for Tony Pollard. I think probably should have been 6.5. So it's not too bad overpaid. Calvin Ridley, 4 years, $92 million, averaging like over 20 million, between 20 and 25 million per year. That's way too much, especially if he was basically almost like Gabe Davis. So show up for a couple games and disappear. Westbrook Ikine, Charles, Cushenberry for the rest of the offense. I don't mind. Westbrook Ikine, Self number 3, Sadiq Charles. Since it doesn't give how long or how much, you pay him to be a backup. Lloyd Cushenberry on a 4-year, $50 million. 30, I think, over the Raiders. Cushenberry's been very good all of his career. And I have absolutely no problem with this deal. And then I got upset when the Steelers would get. I don't want to. Defensive wise, Sebastian Joseph, Kenneth Murray, I thought was very good with the Chargers, so I'm surprised it's only 2-year, $15.5. Chidobe Awuzie, 3-year, $36 million for him. And go back to the talk of you gotta overpay. L'Jarius Sneed for the third-round swap of 2024. Sneed's very good.
Yeah, I'm rolling with a C here. They're bringing in Mason Rudolph to pretty much back up Will Levis. Tony Pollard, downgrade from Derrick Henry. He was a decent number two. Didn't really do a whole lot last year as the number one back for Dallas. I mean, he wasn't great. Calvin Ridley, like you said, it's like a Gabe Davis, whatever. Uh, Westbrook Akine, he's back with the team. Yeah. Awuzie. I think they overpaid for Awuzie, former Cincinnati Bengal. He didn't do a whole lot last year. 3 year, $36 million deal. A little overpay there. I like the L'Jarius Sneed acquisition from the Chiefs. And, yeah, I'm giving him a, C. Now we head out west. Denver Broncos. Fullback Michael Burton. Are there any fullbacks besides Michael Burton still in the league? There's not many. There's not many at all. He got a 1 year deal. Lil Jordan Humphrey re-signed to a 1 year contract. Adam Troutman re-signed to a free agent deal. Michael Pert 1 year deal. Malcolm Roach signed a 2 year deal worth up to $8 million. Cody Barton 1 year deal. Justin Strnad 1 year deal. Brandon Jones 3 year deal. PJ Locke re-signed to a 2 year $7 million deal, and Will Lutz re-signed. What in the world is Sean Payton doing out in Denver? Gage.
Michael Burton, I don't think
Yeah.
I know Jordan Humphrey. I know Jordan Humphrey. Adam Troutman. I mean, okay. It feels like all these signings are just. It's really what it feels like. Justin Sterling feels like he's missing a leg in his last name. My signing in Denver is funny because he initially had that signing in the Jaguars. Why he would go back to Denver? I have no idea. This is. I don't know if this is better or worse than Patriots free agency. I'm gonna give him a D plus.
Yeah, I'm going with a solid D on this one here, only because, yeah, I mean, where did you improve at anywhere on here? I mean, it's all right. I mean, there's not much to say. Like you said, there's like now we know another fullback. I couldn't think. Juszczyk, Ricard, and that's it. I mean, Michael Burton is another fullback that got a deal here. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, Denver, just give me a solid D on Denver here. And just like I said, what are they doing out there? They're not trying to improve or anything. Is that what, like you said, there wasn't a lot of cap space to go around, but they traded Jerry Jeudy. Russell Wilson's gone. And what are we doing? Will Lutz is back. So there you go. After, like you said, why would he go back to Denver after planning to sign with the Jaguars? Altitude. All right. So we go to the defending Super Bowl champions, unfortunately, the Kansas City Chiefs. And here is their free agency signing period. They signed Marquise Hollywood Brown to a 1 year deal worth up to $11 million. Former Bengal Irv Smith gets a 1 year deal. Chris Jones re-signed to a 5 year, $158 million contract. Derek Noddy re-signed with the Chiefs. Tershawn Wharton re-signed on a free agent deal. Drew Tranquil re-signing on a 3 year, $19 million contract. Dion Bush re-signs on a free agent deal. Matt, I can't pronounce this guy's name. He used to kick for Buffalo. Arazia. Ariza. And long snapper James Winchester re-signs with the Chiefs. Gage, pretty big signing on the defensive line end, and Mahomes gets a weapon. What do you think about Kansas City's offseason?
The Tyreek Hill, he's your speedster. He's going to be good with receivers if you're to receive. Mahomes obviously has a bunch of wins. Chris Jones on the defensive line, 10th year, $150 million. Standard and one guaranteed. What is going on with these contracts? He's very good. That contract's very good. That's a win-win situation for everyone involved. Drew Tranquil, we signed him 318 million, 13 guaranteed. I know it's not a lot, but Drew Tranquil, at least every time I've seen him play, has made something happen. Whether that's he's done a lot of tackles for loss, and whether that's he's forced to fall. It always seems like in big time situations, he's a big time player. And we've never got, I think, he hasn't done anything in a while, but better as it. I mean, it's a minimum after everything's going on with him. He's making us the punt god for staying on there. Not a lot to go off of, but a lot of big contracts. I think
Yeah, I was going to go with B also as well. Chris Jones, obviously a big signing that they got re-signed there. Big name for him. Just muted myself. But yeah, Hollywood Brown, another weapon for Patrick Mahomes. Like you said, Drew Tranquil, Matt Ariza. Big controversy with him a few years ago, but he's back in the league here now. I guess everything was cleared on that end or whatever. But like you said, they call him the punt god for a reason. So it'll be interesting to see what how that'll go for Kansas City. But they're just look like they improved, from last season, and that's a scary thing for everybody else because that's all they need is to improve even more than what they already had. So I'll give them a B on that grade. Now we go to Vegas and the Las Vegas Raiders. Quarterback Gardner Minshew signed a 2-year, $25 million deal. $15 million is guaranteed. Amir Abdullah re-signed on a free agent deal. Alexander Madison signed a free agent deal. Center Andre James re-signing on a 3-year, $24 million deal. Defensive lineman Adam Butler re-signed on a free agent deal. John Jenkins re-signed on a free agent deal. And defensive lineman Christian Wilkins, 4-year, $110 million. Gage, not a lot of signings there, but a couple of big ones. What do you think about Vegas's offseason?
yeah. Solid.
Yeah, I'm with you on the B minus there. You said you'd like to know what the payout was for Christian Wilkins to go with Vegas. Probably not as much as his contract is, a 4 year, 110 million. Man, but of course that's the big signing they've got there. Uh, yeah, the running back room. I mean, you definitely have downgraded with Josh Jacobs heading to Green Bay. Minshew, you know, solid quarterback. O'Connell's probably got the starting position, but if he starts to struggle, you got that Minshew magic over there to come in. But other than that, not a whole lot going on. Alexander Madison, I mean, never really done anything in Minnesota a whole lot to write home about. So I mean, it's just a solid sign. Christian Wilkins is obviously the big key piece there for Vegas. And now we go to the last team in the AFC, the AFC West, the Los Angeles Chargers. Quarterback Easton Stick re-signs on a free agent deal. The Gus Bus, Gus Edwards signs a 2-year, $6.5 million deal. Tight end Will Dissly signs a 3-year, $14 million deal. Hayden Hurst signs a free agent deal. Bradley Bozeman, 1-year contract. Poona Ford signs with the Chargers. Troy Dye signs with the Chargers. Denzel Perryman, 1-year deal with the Chargers. Christian Fulton agrees on terms with a 1-year deal. And Aloha Gilman signs a 2-year, $11 million deal. Gage, what do you think about the Chargers free agency signings?
Yep.
Keenan Allen. Oh, he's gone. Oh yeah,
Oh,
he's Chicago, right? Yeah, he's Chicago Bear. They trade him to the Bears. Breaking news.
okay. Two receivers at that point. Number one, you have Quentin Johnston, who rookie last year absolutely did not do much. You're going to have to do something, whether it's signing a veteran, bring him in, maybe bring in Josh Gordon. Is he allowed in the NFL? No one knows. Maybe do something through the draft. But this is just as bad as some other ones that we've seen. Your biggest signing might be Easton Stick. And that's saying something. Um, to me, what do I want to give a D plus for this team?
Yeah, I'm probably going about a C minus D plus. Hayden Hurst is a decent tight end, but I mean nothing big splash there or anything. Will Dissly, yeah. The Gus Bus, he's good for a few touchdowns. That was in Baltimore. Don't know how that's going to be in LA. You didn't replace any of your wide receivers. I mean, you lose Mike Williams, you trade away Keenan Allen, you got Justin Herbert back there. Who are you expecting Justin Herbert to throw to? I mean, he's one of these top quarterbacks, and he's not going to have any weapons out there. I'm pretty sure Austin Eckler is out of there too. So I mean, like, what are we doing here in LA? I don't get some of these decisions by some of these. So yeah, not very good for the Chargers there. So well, that's the yeah. So that is the AFC side of things. Uh, man, are you good? We come back next week. We do the NFC. All right, man. Well, you got anything else you want to add to the AFC side of things, or anything in general, or you know whatever?
AFC.
Well, when we come in next week and we go over the NFC, has been a lot of deals, and some of them may be questionable, and some of them may be about a certain Atlanta quarterback getting a ton of money that we will touch on next week. You know, it is what it is. Oh man, so we'll come back here next week and we'll hit the NFC free agency. And if there's any more deals that's been on in the AFC since, we will go over them as well. So we'll see you next week. Later.